Well, hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm going to start off in the tropics because we do have some issues to watch out for. A couple of areas have been now marked up by the National Hurricane Center out in the Atlantic, and you can see that the chances of development of these are really low. So you say, well, okay, who cares? 10%, 20%? That means, Well, here's the thing. We don't anticipate these are going to develop within the next 5, 6, 7 days. It's going to take a little longer than that. That's why the development chances are so low. Not because something won't develop out there, but just because we don't think anything's going to develop out there very soon. It's going to take time, but things will develop. We have multiple tropical waves that we're dealing with out there. I don't know why it skipped by that quickly there. There it is. Multiple tropical waves out in the Atlantic, and got a couple that are going to be actually very large tropical waves coming off the coast of Africa today. So we'll see that working its way out into the Atlantic, and gradually, it's going to take its time, basically a week or longer, before things start to develop. But once things do start to develop, it's likely to start happening very, very quickly. And the key for us is what's going to happen eventually in the Gulf of Mexico. We want to keep all those things far out in the Atlantic, because the Gulf right now is rocket fuel. The water temperatures at the surface are very warm, but that's really not even the main problem. What the main problem is what's happening below the surface. This is data from Louisiana LSU, and what they got here is the heat content of the Gulf of Mexico. Basically, that's not just the surface temperature of the Gulf. This goes down 2,000 meters, so they're getting data from basically the entire water column all across the Gulf, and then they take those numbers and they average them out. They've done this for years, and that blue line you see on the map, that's the average of the last 10 years, which already was pretty high. This year, that bright red line, we are way above it, record territory. So in other words, the Gulf is just completely stacked right now with rocket fuel for any storm that would make its way into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, this won't matter a whole lot if there's no storms getting into the Gulf, right? You have to have a storm to take advantage of this. But if there is a storm that gets in the Gulf or forms in the Gulf, it's going to have this to use as fuel. So that's the bad part here with this. So, and once again, it's record-breaking heat content in the Gulf of Mexico right now. So that's not good news. I wish I had better news than that. But once again, right now we don't have anything out there to take advantage of that, which is great news. But eventually we may very well. All right, let's check out the Futurecast. It's been pretty quiet so far today with the rain. The storms have been off to the west of us in coastal Louisiana, coastal Mississippi. We could see a few more bubble up later on today. Rain chances are about 30 to 40%. I'm going to keep the rain chances in there. Yesterday, the modeling didn't do a great job with the afternoon thunderstorms, so just in case today it's kind of doing the same thing, I'm going to keep us with 30 to 40% rain chances, so at least a few showers of thunderstorms bubbling up. Not widespread or anything like that, but there could be a few showers of storms out there this afternoon. Right now, things are pretty quiet. Like I said, most of the action's in coastal Mississippi, coastal Louisiana. That's where the most moisture is at, the humid air, but it's still it's very muggy across our area. I mean, our dew points are in the mid 70s. We got we got spoiled last week. We got that dry air that came in, and it was very pleasant and bearable for August. I mean, it was still hot, obviously, but it was bearable. That's gone. We're fully back into the swampy air across the area, and that's going to lead to heat index values like this. We're talking 105, 106, 107. Very uncomfortable. Do your best to stay cool, stay hydrated out there today. It is going to be very, very hot. The afternoon, the actual highs should be somewhere in the low to mid 90s out there. So hot day regardless, no matter which way you slice it. And of course, you factor in the humidity on top of that, it'll feel like 105 or so. The evening planner, if you get off work and you got some things to run around and do this evening, some errands to run, or maybe the kids have some practices in the evening, temperatures will be very warm and humid out there for us tonight in the mid 80s. They are still at 7 o'clock in the evening. Let me go to the full screen so you can see this. Obviously, as we look down the line here over your next 7 days. So as we go to the weekend, I mean, this is a very typical forecast for late August going into the first part of September. It's going to be hot and humid, low 90s, There'll be pop-up showers and thunderstorms mainly in the afternoons. And that's just going to be the forecast really for the foreseeable future. So right on through this upcoming holiday weekend. Of course, Monday is Labor Day, so it's a long weekend for folks. If you're making plans for this upcoming weekend, hey, don't change your plans because of the rain chances you see there. Just go ahead and make them and just be flexible. We know how it is. If you hear thunder, lightning, you're out at the pool, pack it up for a little bit, go in, let that pass by, then head back out. So that is your forecast next 7 days. Hope you have yourself a good one. Enjoy your holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Fox 10 Gulf Stream.